Welcome to the Depth Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get to the heart of things. Ever feel like you're putting everything into leading your team, doing all the right things, but still hitting some kind of invisible wall? Like there are these hidden assumptions almost sabotaging your best efforts without you even realizing it.
That hidden dynamic.
Exactly. Well, today we're diving deep into that very idea, false premises in leadership. This comes from the work of Gunther Williams, and it's a really powerful way to look at team development. Why some things work and some just don't.
Yeah, it offers a fascinating lens.
So our mission today is to unpack these false premises. What are they? How do they show up? And crucially, what practical things can you actually do to break free for your team, your culture?
Right, it's about identifying and then shifting.
So to start, let's get clear on what we mean by false premises. What exactly are they?
Williams describes them as these troubling patterns, hidden assumptions, really. And the key thing is they sabotage your intentions as a leader, even good intentions, and they end up undermining the team.
Sabotage. So it's not necessarily about meaning poorly.
No, not at all. It's more like these unconscious beliefs are running the show. They're like the silent killer of team potential, sort of lurking beneath the surface.
Okay, that makes sense. Can you give us some examples? Like, what does this look like day to day?
Sure. A really common one Williams points out is assuming your team members are only motivated by their paycheck.
The compensation trap.
Exactly. As if that's the sole driver for engagement. Or another one is believing you have to choose, right, between holding people accountable and showing empathy.
Like they're opposites.
Yeah, seeing them as mutually exclusive instead of, two sides of the same coin. And then there's the big one. Thinking leadership means having all the answers, projecting that you know everything.
I can see that.
And if you connect the dots, you see how these create those invisible barriers you mentioned. They stop real connection, real growth.
Yeah, they sound subtle, easy to fall into without even noticing.
Definitely.
So how did Williams even uncover this? What was the path to this insight?
It came from integrating techniques from different fields, these sort of transformative frameworks.
Just what?
Things like the outward mindset approach, conversational capacity, and even ideas from the go-giver philosophy. By bringing these together, he saw this pattern emerge. And the big insight, the real breakthrough, was realizing everything changes when you shift your focus.
Shift focus how?
From being self-focused, thinking about your own goals, your own image, to being genuinely curious about other people, their needs, their experiences, their perspectives.
Okay. So moving from me to them.
Basically, yeah. It's like flipping a mental switch.
That sounds powerful. It makes me think about leaders I've seen who seem stuck, maybe constantly putting out fires or struggling with team morale. Does William share an example, maybe a specific leader he worked with?
He does, yeah. A really telling story about a leader who was just incredibly frustrated. High turnover, innovation was stalling, the team felt flat.
Okay, sounds familiar in some places.
Right. And when they dug into it, they found this core false premise driving the leader's actions. He fundamentally believed his main job was to prevent failure.
Prevent failure, not enable success.
Exactly. His whole focus was on control, avoiding mistakes at all costs, which meant he wasn't really creating psychological safety.
Wow. That must have been a tough thing to realize, especially if that's how you've always operated.
Oh, absolutely. It's a deep-seated belief.
So how did that leader manage to shift? What happened when they challenged that premise?
It wasn't overnight, of course. But once it was identified, truly seen for what it was, the leader started making a conscious pivot. Instead of just preventing failure, he began to actively encourage calculated risks.
Calculated risks.
Yeah, and celebrating the learning that comes from mistakes rather than punishing the mistake itself.
And the result.
Pretty remarkable, actually. The team's engagement scores went up significantly. It's just a really clear example of how your underlying belief shapes your team's reality.
That's a huge takeaway. Your belief dictates their reality. Okay, so knowing this, what are the practical steps? Williams outlines 3 key practices to break this cycle. Let's start with the first, courageous truth-telling.
Right. Courageous truth-telling. This is all about communicating with authenticity and transparency, being real.
Okay, but what does that mean? Is it just being brutally honest?
No, and that's a critical distinction Williams makes. It's not about brutal honesty, the kind that just tears people down or breaks trust.
Right, that can backfire badly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The real purpose here is to build an environment where you can have candid conversations, where real issues get surfaced because there's trust.
So it's about creating safety for honesty.
Precisely. Being able to say what needs saying and also hear what needs hearing without people shutting down or getting defensive.
Yeah.
That's where the growth happens.
Got it. Not bluntness, but building trust for candor.
Mm.
Okay, practice 2. Adopt an outward mindset. This sounds like it could really change how you see your team.
It really is foundational, I think. Adopting an outward mindset. It means seeing your team members as, well, people.
Yeah.
Full human beings with their own challenges, their own goals, their own perspectives.
As opposed to
seeing them just as objects to be managed, or maybe obstacles blocking your own goals.
Yeah. The resource view versus the person view.
Right. And when you make that shift, when you adopt that more empathetic stance, it transforms conflicts. What might have been a confrontation becomes an opportunity to actually understand someone better, to connect.
So you're shifting from seeing your world to trying to understand their world.
Exactly. That's the core of the outward mindset.
Okay. And the third practice, developing conversational capacity. This sounds like it tackles those really tricky discussions.
Yes, this is about how you navigate the tough stuff. It's the ability to stay balanced and productive, even when the conversation gets difficult or emotional.
Balanced. Meaning what exactly?
It involves a few key skills, like staying genuinely curious about the other person's view, even when you disagree. And also being able to state your own view assertively, but respectfully, doing both at the same time.
Curiosity and assertiveness, that's a tough balance.
It is. And a huge part of it is managing your own defensive triggers. We all have them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Recognizing when you're getting triggered
Yeah.
and choosing a more constructive response.
Yeah.
And helping others manage theirs too.
So if you can do that.
If you can develop that capacity, then potential confrontations, those arguments or times when everyone just shuts down, they can actually become collaborative problem-solving sessions.
That sounds ideal, but maybe easier said than done, especially managing your own triggers.
Oh, it's definitely a practice, probably a lifelong one for most of us in leadership roles,
Right.
but incredibly impactful.
Right. Constant work. So when leaders actually start doing these things consistently, the truth-telling, the outward mindset, the conversational capacity, what happens, what's the ripple effect?
It creates this profound ripple effect through the whole team, the whole culture. When leaders genuinely model these behaviors day in and day out,
People notice.
absolutely, and gradually, team members start to feel genuinely safe.
Safe in what way?
Safe enough to share their real ideas, even the half-baked ones. Safe enough to take, intelligent risks without fearing they'll be punished if it doesn't pan out perfectly.
And safe enough to give real feedback.
Yes. Crucially that, giving honest, constructive feedback, upward and sideways, without worrying about negative repercussions.
That sounds like where real innovation and trust can actually happen.
That's exactly it. That's the environment you start to create.
So, looking at the bigger picture, the culture itself changes. It evolves from what to what?
It moves away from a culture that might be characterized by protective self-interest.
Everyone watching their own back.
Yeah, guarding their turf, looking out for number one. It shifts towards a culture of collective growth and shared responsibility.
Oh, we're in this together kind of feeling.
Exactly. It's a fundamental shift in how people work together, solve problems, and ultimately, how they succeed together.
So, let's bring this back to you, the listener. It seems clear that identifying and challenging these false premises isn't just some abstract idea. It's actually central to being an effective leader and building a team that truly thrives.
Right. It's not just about hitting targets. It's about fostering that genuine connection, that psychological safety that allows for sustainable growth.
It's about the long game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And Williams is clear, breaking free isn't like a one-time fix. It's a continuous practice.
Yep.
It requires ongoing self-awareness and really intentional leadership choices day after day. A journey, like you said.
Yeah, not a destination. Which leads us perfectly to the final thought, the central question Gunther Williams leaves us with. He asks leaders and asks you listening now. The question isn't whether you have false premises, we all do, but whether you're willing to examine and challenge them for the benefit of your team and culture.
That's the core of it.
So, the question for you is, what false premise might be limiting your leadership effectiveness today? And what could become possible if you really dared to challenge it? Something to definitely chew on as you continue your leadership journey.